Random House Audio presents The Mountain Between Us by Charles Martin. This is George Newbern. Prelude. Hey, I'm not sure what time it is. This thing should record that. I woke a few minutes ago. It's still dark. I don't know how long I was out. The snow is spilling in through the windshield. It's frozen across my face. Hard to blink. Feels like dried paint on my cheeks. It just doesn't taste like dried paint. I'm shivering, and it feels like somebody is sitting on my chest. Can't catch my breath. Maybe broke 2 or 3 ribs. Might have a collapsed lung. The wind up here is steady, leaning against the tail of the fuselage, or what's left of it. Something above me, maybe a branch, is slapping the plexiglass. Sounds like fingernails on a chalkboard. And more cold air is coming in behind me, where the tail used to be. I can smell gas. I guess both wings were still pretty full of fuel. I feel like I want to throw up. A hand is wrapped around mine. The fingers are cold and calloused. There's a wedding band, worn thin around the edges. That's Grover. He was dead before he hit the treetops. I'll never understand how he landed this thing without killing me too. When we took off, the ground temperature was in the single digits. Not sure what it is now. Feels colder. Our elevation should be around 11,500, give or take. We couldn't have fallen more than 500 feet when Grover dipped the wing. The control panel sits dark, unlit, dusted and white. Every few minutes the GPS on the dash will flicker, then go black again. There was a dog here somewhere. All teeth and muscle. Real short hair about the size of a bread box. Makes angry gurgling sounds when he breathes. Looks like he's jacked up on speed. Wait. Hey, boy. Wait, no, not there. Okay, lick, but don't jump. What's your name? You scared? Yeah, me too. I can't remember his name. I'm back. Was I gone long? There's a dog here buried between my coat and armpit. Did I already tell you about him? I can't remember his name. He's shivering, and the skin around his eyes is quivering. Whenever the wind howls, he jumps up and growls at it. The memory is foggy. Grover and I were talking. He was flying, maybe banking right. The dash flashed a buffet of blue and green lights. A carpet of black stretched out below us. Not a light bulb for 60 miles in any direction. And there was a woman, trying to get home to her fiancé and a rehearsal dinner. I'll look. I found her. Unconscious. Elevated pulse. Eyes are swollen shut. Pupils are dilated. Probably a concussion. Several lacerations across her face. A few will need stitches. Right shoulder is dislocated and left femur is broken. It didn't break the skin, but her leg is angling out and her pant leg is tight. I need to set it. Once I catch my breath. It's getting colder. I guess the storm finally caught us. If I don't get us wrapped up in something, we'll freeze to death before daylight. I'll have to set that leg in the morning. Rachel, I don't know how much time we have. Don't know if we'll make it out, but I take it all back. I was wrong. I was angry. I never should have said it. You were thinking about us, not you. I can see that now. You're right. Right all along. There's always a chance. Always. Chapter 1. Salt Lake City Airport, 12 hours earlier. The view was ugly. Gray, dreary, January dragging on. On the TV screen behind me, some guy sitting in a studio in New York used the words "socked in." I pressed my forehead to the glass. On the tarmac, guys in yellow suits drove trains of luggage that snaked around the planes, leaving snow flurries swirling in their exhaust. Next to me, a tired pilot sat on his flight-weathered leather case, hat in hand, hoping for a last-chance hop home and a night in his own bed. To the west, clouds covered the runway, visibility near zero, but given the wind, it came and went. Windows of hope. The Salt Lake City airport is surrounded by mountains. Eastward, snow-capped mountains rose above the clouds. Mountains have long been an attraction for me. For a moment, I wondered what was on the other side. My flight was scheduled to depart at 6:07 p.m., but given delays was starting to look like the red-eye, if at all. Annoyed by the flashing delayed sign, I moved to a corner on the floor against a far wall. I spread patient files across my lap and began dictating my reports, diagnoses, and prescriptions into a digital recorder. Folks I'd seen the week before I left. While I treated adults too, most of the files on my lap belonged to kids. Years ago, Rachel, my wife, convinced me to focus on sports medicine in kids. She was right. I hated seeing them limp in, but loved watching them run out. I had some more work to do, and the battery indicator on my digital recorder was flashing red, so I walked to the store in the terminal and found I could buy 2 AA batteries for $4 or 12 for $7. I gave the lady $7, replaced the batteries in my recorder, and slid the other 10 into my backpack. I had just returned from a medical conference in Colorado Springs, where I had been invited to join a panel on the intersection of pediatric orthopedics and emergency medicine. We covered ER procedures and the differing bedside manners needed to treat fearful kids. The venue was beautiful. The conference satisfied several of my continuing ed requirements, and, most important, it gave me an excuse to spend 4 days climbing the collegiate peaks near Buena Vista, Colorado. In truth, it was a business trip that satisfied my hiking addiction. Many doctors buy Porsches and big homes and pay for country club memberships they seldom use. I take long runs on the beach and climb mountains when I can get to them. I'd been gone a week. My return trip took me from Colorado Springs to Salt Lake for the direct flight home. Airline travel never ceases to amaze me, flying west to end up east. The crowd on the airport had thinned. Most folks were home by this time on a Sunday. Those still in the airport were either at their gate, waiting, or at a bar, hovering over a beer and a basket of nachos or hot wings. Her walk caught my attention. Long, slender legs, purposeful gait, yet graceful and rhythmic, comfortable and confident in her own skin. She was maybe 5'9" or 10, dark-haired and attractive, but not too concerned about it, maybe 30. Her hair was short. Think Winona Ryder in Girl Interrupted or Julia Ormond in Harrison Ford's remake of Sabrina. Not a lot of fuss. Yet you could find the same style up and down Manhattan with girls who'd paid a lot of money to look like that. My bet was that she had paid very little. Or she could have paid a lot to make it look like she paid a little. She walked up, eyed the crowd across the terminal, and then chose a spot 10 or 15 feet away on the floor. I watched her out of the corner of my eye. Dark pantsuit, a leather attaché, and one carry-on. Looked like she was returning from a business overnight. She set down her bags, tied on a pair of Nike running shoes, then, eyeing the terminal, sat on the floor and stretched. Based on the fact that not only her head, but also her chest and stomach could touch her thigh and the floor between her legs, I surmised that she had done that before. Her legs were muscular, like an aerobics instructor's. After she stretched a few minutes, she pulled several yellow legal pads from her attaché, flipped through pages of handwritten notes, and started typing on her laptop. Her fingers moved at the speed of hummingbird wings. After a few minutes, her laptop beeped. She frowned, stuck her pencil between her teeth, and began eyeballing the wall for an outlet. I was using half. She was holding the swinging end of her laptop's power cord. "Mind if I share?" "Sure." She plugged in and then sat cross-legged with the computer on the floor, surrounded by her legal pads. I continued with my files. Follow-up orthopedics consultation dated... I studied my calendar, trying to resurrect the date. January 23rd.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?